Looking at YELP GWPH PCLN NVDA and Tesla here. And again, we call this the resident bull list because we're looking at longer term time frames in the weekly charts, more designed for swing trading. For names like Yelp, we've been tracking them every single day for over 8 months at this point on these nice uptrends. And I added Tesla here. I'm not sold yet. I'll show you why on the weekly time frame in terms of the trend reversing. But certainly it is no longer qualified as a resident bear. So taking it off that list and going to be covering it here just for now because there is a lot of nice trading opportunity in Tesla. So we'll get to that at the end there. On Yelp here, the daily time frame, very clearly $40 psychological resistance is rejecting the price time and time again. You can see that horizontal line there. We've got a half dozen rejections in the past 2-3 weeks, and the bulls must close above $40 for this move to continue. We have an inside candlestick on Friday compared to Thursday's trading range. It was a decrease in volume, so that is a good sign for the bulls. Ideally, the bulls want to hold this higher low pattern, which would mean 39.21 were to hold on Monday. That would be best case scenario for the bulls with a close above 40, obviously. But if we pull back, we've got all kinds of moving average support down here. As long as we don't close below 37.75, the support established here back at the end of 2016, the bulls will remain in control with a higher low pattern on the daily time frame. The weekly for Yelp, still liking this chart a lot because we back tested and held the middle Bollinger Band of 37.44, and we did not confirm this clear bearish reversal. Big upper wick inverted hammer or gravestone doji, could go either way there in terms of how strict you are with your definitions of candlesticks, but either way, it was a bearish reversal candlestick that was negated. And if we get above $40, we're looking at the recent high that we've seen on Yelp. That is up at 43.36. GWPH, frustrating for the bulls, and look at how tough that Bollinger Band is. Tons of profit taking to end the week after a couple breakout attempts, and looks like we need some pretty solid volume for GWPH bulls to break out. I'd say we need more than 400,000 shares traded to see a close above the upper Bollinger Band. We're also seeing some resistance from back here in the lower 120s. 120.93 was resistance, 122.25, and we've been rejecting from the low 121s. So it was a bearish reversal candlestick Thursday. We did not confirm it, but it's another bearish reversal candlestick Friday. It's an inside candlestick within that range, and the bulls are still forming higher lows on this move, and we're looking really good on the weekly time frame for GWPH, even with those upper wicks on the daily. We have that middle Bollinger Band back as support of 113.78. We know the NASDAQ biotech sector, IBB, is reversing its downtrend on the daily time frame, and we closed above these exponential resistances, which had been rejecting the price for 6 weeks in a row. So liking the bulls or some upside from here. As we know, we've been tracking GWPH since back in the low 80s, and we're watching for the bulls to break 122.25, 122.63. That's the high of these bounce attempts in the past. See here, that makes 7 weeks. And if we break those levels, the bulls will be in control on the weekly time frame as well. And they still are. This consolidation that has taken place over months. Look at the 4-week, 1-month-long breakout. Huge move to the upside. And on that pretty much 4 months of consolidation, we only gave back about half of that breakout. The bulls maintaining higher lows. Now we're looking to continue back up into the 120s. PCLN, I just did a video on it, covering it with the other travel stocks, TRIP and EXPE. But just to touch base again, increasing bull volume 3 days in a row. The break of 1503 broke the lower high pattern on the daily time frame. Then we saw a big time continuation. As soon as we broke 1503, our target became the gap here at 1526, and we filled that almost exactly with the high of Friday. So the bulls are in control, trying to resume this uptrend, and we're watching the next resistance, the high of Friday, 1526. Then we're looking up at 1549. As long as the market stays strong, PCLN bulls have been responding. A bull MACD cross here, weekly time frame gaining back that middle Bollinger Band, nice increase in bull volume, a very clear strong uptrend since February. Bulls remaining in control, close up near the high of the week. NVDA, tons of action on the end of 2016. And you can see it's getting tight here, and that's being accompanied by decreasing volume. So this tight range is going to break by some point next week, say by Wednesday, I would imagine. And we're going to be seeing a spike in volume to indicate that break. So it's a battle for the middle Bollinger Band. We closed just below it on Thursday, now just above it on Friday. Tightening range, we have a couple tops here, 106.37, 105.82. So upper 105s and lower 106s have been acting as resistance, and the bulls have been finding support in the 101 range. The low of the past 3 days in the lower 101s, bouncing off of those levels of support. We're getting very tight here. We had an inside candlestick on Friday. We're going to look for a break there. We did have a fake out on the inside candlestick on Thursday, so that would have me put less weight into that inside candlestick breaking this coming tomorrow, Monday. But definitely worth watching the volume and those key support and resistances over the past few days. Weekly time frame, bearish reversal candlestick, technically confirmed with a lower high and lower low, but we see a lower wick on that candlestick with the bulls buying the dip, and we are still maintaining the exponential supports. Look how important this 8-period exponential support has been. We've held it for over 10 months at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tests, all bouncing off that 8-period exponential support, and that's going to be, we have to update that at the open tomorrow for the week, and that's going to be in the $98 range. That's a very important support level. If we close below that 8-period exponential on the weekly, we will be looking for some further downside just because that has been support for over 10 months. But as of right now, that is not directly in the near-term future, just a level to be keeping on watch. So Tesla has had a huge December, and it's following through with a very strong start to 2017. We had a bull break of the inside candlestick on Thursday. Thursday was the inside candlestick. The bull break occurred on Friday as soon as 227.48 broke. And we got up to 230 psychological resistance. So a key support from here on out is the low of this consolidation, 210.96. Nice support established there before continuation. A little overbought on the daily time frame. And the weekly time frame, the level for me, I said I'm not convinced just yet. And while we did break the lower high pattern, that was a pretty weak pattern here in all of the fall and start of the winter here in 2016. We still have this prevailing lower high pattern, 269, another lower high at 240, and then 236.63. So that's the level for me. The bulls can break 236.63. We break this longer term lower high pattern, and we're looking really good for the bulls to resume back towards. Let's actually get a whole bigger picture here, looking back 3 years to see where we're coming from the all-time high. So there's definitely lower highs. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 lower highs still in play. And those are the levels to be watching. We're in breakout mode above the weekly upper Bollinger Band. We are not overbought on the weekly time frame. And we'll look to see if the upper Bollinger Band can hold on the weekly for the bulls. So key level, 236.63. That's one that I will be watching. And if we break that level, then Tesla will have a nice place on the resident bull list, as we will be eyeing the all-time high back up at 291.42 if that level were to break, but still a ways to go. So I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on Monday.